Hello everyone, welcome to NBL1 men's action. We are in round 15, the final round of the 2019 NBL1 season as we come to you from the Kingborough Sports Centre. It's the Hobart Huskies taking on the Waverley Falcons, and this game has a lot to it. Hobart will be looking to win and trying to then hoping on other results to bank their way to sneak into the 8. Meanwhile for Waverley hold 8th spot at the moment and must win tonight to pretty much secure it and probably win tomorrow night as well too. So it's a mouth-watering type of game, and this is the one we want to see and look at tonight. So hope you do enjoy the coverage. In commentary with me tonight, it's not JB, as I usually would introduce him by now. It's none other than Basketball Tasmania Southern Development Officer in Nick Martin is joining us tonight. Nick, welcome to the coverage.
Yeah, thanks, Ronnie. Good to get our second game under our belt tonight. Like you mentioned, it's going to be a really important game for both teams. Obviously, Huskies, it's a must-win for them to have, I guess, any chance of playoff basketball this year. And then, on the flip side, you got Waverley, who, they're right in the middle of that log jam at the moment, just holding on to 8th spot. So they can't afford 2 losses this weekend. So it's important road trip for them, in the last round. So, it should be a good game tonight.
Of course, the situation, as we know it, Nick, so Waverley need to drop both games, which, of course, they have to drop if they lose tonight, and then if they lose to Northwest Thunder tomorrow night. And then we need Dandenong to go down to Kilsyth as well too. So there's a few games that have to go Hobart's way to sneak into the A, but this is going to be an exciting matchup because Waverley's been playing some good basketball at the moment. They've just, in the last week or two, beaten the ladder leaders in Ballarat, which was a huge scalp for them. Meanwhile, this young Hobart group has probably exceeded everyone's expectations as far as just how far they've come from the start of the season to right now, which is pretty much the penultimate game for the Hobart Huskies men.
Yeah, I think, you said it, Ronnie, and that's how I would describe it as well, that they've exceeded their maybe not their expectations, but the expectations of, everyone else was that, going into it was going to be a young group. It was going to be, a group, full of young players who were going to get an opportunity to, get some court time, which, they haven't got as much court time in the past. They definitely have exceeded expectations of what some other teams in the league probably thought they were going to achieve. I've really enjoyed watching, the games I've been here in person and watched, but, watching from afar. It's been fun to see the young guys get an opportunity, and, a lot of former, FDP, SDP program athletes out there, Jack Stanwicks, Jacob Richards, I guess are playing, starting, in the starting lineup, playing a pretty important role for the group. And I think obviously Tad Duffelmeyer and Jalen Adams have been really, the right guys to bring in to kind of bring it all together for the young group.
All right. Big crowd in tonight too. This is probably the biggest we've seen in quite some time, and really good to see the crowd turning out on a cold night here in Kingston. Very cold nights down here, Nick. But if you are watching around the screens of the NBL YouTube channel, thanks for tuning in. A shout out to all the people watching back home in Waverley. I'm sure you're very happy with your women's team. They won in the game before against Hobart by quite a convincing margin in the end as well too. And they look to play Launceston tomorrow night. But our attention turns to here at the Kingborough Sports Centre, where it is do or die pretty much for Hobart. It's win or go home. That's got to be the attitude. And speaking with Coach Mark Shivers last night, Nick, he's full of confidence, and the attitude that they're taking is play nothing to lose and put it all out on the line tonight.
Yeah, I think that's how you got to approach it. Definitely, if they win tonight, they're still, holding out on some other results to go their way, but you can only control what you can control, and for them right now, it's tonight's game and trying to get the win.
Alrighty, our referees for this evening are David Farmers, Martin Parker and Todd Spain, refereeing Troika. Meanwhile, just having a look at the starting groups here. It's Harper, McCorta, Travis, Benny Lewis is out there, the former NBL player. He used to play with the Melbourne Tigers back in the day. And Harper, Travis, McWhorter at limit 11. There is Neville as well too. For the Hobart Huskies, it's Zach White, Jacob Richards, Jack Stanwicks, Jalen Adams and Tad Duffelmeyer starting in tonight's game. So referees just trying to find a ball that is at the right PSI. And we finally have one. So we're looking forward to this one, folks. This is going to be an absolute ripper of a ball game. Hope you enjoyed tonight's coverage as we come to you from the Kingborough Sports Centre. It's a 15-minute drive just outside of Hobart here, going down south for the Southern Outlet and beyond. And we are underway here, and the Falcons will control it to the right of your screen. Have they controlled the tip? And the ball is with Harper. He's one-on-one with Duffelmeyer at the moment. Now back to Travis. Travis putting on the floor, looking at his options. Goes to Lewis. We'll speak a bit about Benny Lewis throughout the game. McWhorter goes inside the big unit, but then it was Neville there to pick up the scraps, and they get the opening score of this game.
Yeah, I think, watch out for Waverley tonight. They definitely like to get McWhorter. Touches down low on the block, so it'll be interesting to see what strategies the Huskies bring to counter that.
Adams putting on some moves, goes over Lewis, missed everything. McWhorter there for the rebound. And then it's Travis off and running, puts it up and gets it to go. Dylan Travis with a great drive to the basket. He'll go to the line for one. So a foul called there on Jacob Richards. And a quick start here for the Falcons, Nick.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it at the start of the game, Ronnie. Like, it's a must-win, so I think they know what's on the line. It's been a good start for them so far.
And doesn't get that one to go. 4-zip is our scoreline here, as we've just ticked on 50 seconds in the first quarter. Duffelmeyer. Now Stanwicks puts it to the floor, gets that open lane, goes to reverse, doesn't get to go. McWhorter with a rebound, and then it's Travis here once again. McWhorter bustles his way through, puts on some moves over White, and gets it to go. So 6-0 run here to start us off in the game, and we've only just ticked on 100 seconds here. As Duffelmeyer kicks it to White. White on the back door there, puts it up and gets it to go. And that opens Hobart with a settler there.
Yeah, I think Hobart right now playing out a middle pick and roll a lot on offense. So, an attempt there to, I guess, jump out on a hard show and found the roller.
So McWhorter here at the free throw, drives his way through. He's a big unit and he's going to be hard to stop tonight, and that might be a matchup problem there for Hobart.
Yeah, I think very quickly they need to make an adjustment there defensively.
White with that baseline jumper, gets it to go. So right now they're in a bit of a man coverage here by the sounds of it, Nick.
Yeah, a bit of a, I think they've fallen into a 2-3 zone now, Ronnie. So I think that's that adjustment we was just talking about. So I think they're going to try and keep the ball out of McWhorter's hands, and right as I speak, he gets the ball.
Gets it, but then good defensive pressure there by Richards, and McWhorter claims, yes, he did travel, and the Huskies will get it back.
Yeah, nice little change up there. He's come out, he's off to a good start. I like the adjustment there by the coaching staff.
Yes, Mark Shivers has done a great job with these youngsters throughout the year, and we'll speak more about Mark coming back to Hobart here and coaching the Huskies. As Richards gets rejected by Neville there. Great work there by Chris Neville. As the shot goes up by Dylan Travis, Dean Neville I meant for the block there. Apologies there, folks. As Adams, now Duffelmeyer with it. Marchand still at 4 here. Just on near 3 minutes tick by. Now the foul will be called there on Harper. And Hobart to get it back. Mark Shivers has come back to coach Hobart for the first time since 2007. Nick, as he's finally come back to the state after a 10-year kind of hiatus, and has picked up the Huskies' job here this season. They've done a terrific job as Stanwicks goes for 3. 2 pieces of the rim out success. Adams to get the O board and get it to go. Marchand back at 2 here. 8 plays 6. And Duffelmeyer gets a hand onto that. No, last touch by Lewis apparently, as Duffelmeyer has a good case there to the referee, Todd Spain. And Hobart get it back.
Yeah, a little bit of extended pressure there. Bit of a 2-2-1 back to a 2-3 zone. So, again, a good adjustment so far by the coaching group and the playing group.
I did see a bit of this 2-2-1 action happened last night training. So they have been working hard on it, Nick, as White, Stanwicks inside of Richards. Richards goes to work. A nice give to Stanwicks, and Stanwicks just a bit too much on that layup and misses that one as Travis comes down the floor with it now. So they're looking to run a play here. Stanwicks put a bit of pressure on that. Travis with some moves. Goes to kick to Harper. That's not there on the shot. Stanwicks puts down the rebound and off we go. Stanwicks just slows it down a bit. Gives it off to Richards. Richards, great drive and gets it to go off the window. We are tied at 8 as Hobart make a mini run themselves, and we are back at an 8-8 ball game. So Harper. Now Lewis. So Lewis looking inside, but the ball gets kicked around here by the Falcons. Now back to Lewis here at the corner. Lewis putting some moves on Richards. Good defensive pressure there as Lewis puts up the shot. McCord is going to be tough on the boards. Last touch by him, and Hobart to get it back.
I think that's the thing, playing in a zone, it's obviously been effective the last few possessions for them, but your vulnerability can be on the offensive glass. So I think doing a job on DeAndre is going to be really important there.
So Adams tries to get one over. Neville puts up a reverse, and with a bit of body English on it, Nick gets it to go.
Yeah, I like that. I like him attacking the hoop. That's his strengths. First possession he came out and kind of settled for a bit of a mid-range pull-up jumper. I'd much rather him taking it aggressive to the hole.
Harper, now to Lewis, back in turn Travis, puts on some moves. Stanwicks is there, equal to the challenge, but Harper gets a sneaky move in and goes off glass there for the 2. Duffelmeyer coming down the floor. We're tied at 10 apiece here, folks. This is a good start. Good first 5 minutes here by both teams so far. As Duffelmeyer kicks it to Adams. Adams, we're looking for some highlights tonight in the final home game. As Zach White goes from downtown, not there. McWhorter with a rebound. Back to Travis, now Lewis as the Falcons are off and running. Lewis puts up a little tough J and gets it to go down.
Yeah, that's definitely what he is not shy, particularly in transition, getting some shots up. So they're going to have to be urgent getting back defensively.
Richards misses the 3 there. McWhorter with the rebound as Lewis now goes over to Travis there. Dylan Travis puts it to the floor. Good drive baseline and gets that layup to go. So 14-10 again. This is a little mini game of runs here at the moment, you would say, as Matthew Young and BJ Ratcliffe look to check into the game as Adams goes for a 3 himself. That didn't look good. We had a good look at that one. Now the foul's going to be called here on Stanwicks after he took out Benny Lewis down on the baseline. And
again, Ronnie, I just think Adams does some things really well. Shoots it at 33% from 3 over the course of the season, but again, I don't feel like that's his strength. I think his strength is being aggressive and attacking the hole.
So Richards and Stanwicks take a breather. So BJ Ratcliffe and Matty Young are into the ball game. There's Neville. Now back to Harper. Lewis at the corner for 3. Knocks it down.
This is the thing, Ronnie, and I spoke about in the women's game. When you just sit in a zone, it can become a little bit easier to dissect once you've seen, 3, 4, 5 possessions of it and, 3 consecutive scores for Waverley.
And Duffelmeyer misses the 2, but Matty Young there with the tip in. Back to 5 points here, 17-12. The good crowd in attendance here tonight. Great to see it. Back to the rafters here at the Kingborough Sports Centre as ball now with Travis. Back to Lewis. Now Travis, shot clock at 7. Falcons need to get busy. Travis goes to Harper for 3 and he knocks it down. And they're out to an 8-point lead now, 20 plays 12.
Yeah, Mark, Coach Mark Chivers having obviously some faith now in the playing group. Me personally, I feel like they, are pretty close to, I think you need a timeout pretty soon.
So Adams misses the 2 there. Lewis pulls up from deep and gets it to go. Benny Lewis just finding his range early in the game here. 23-12. And the ball gets kicked around here. The Huskies need to find some stops here defensively and some quick conversions down the offensive end. Young for 3. Not there. White had that rebound all day. Young cuts it through. Now Adams. Adams over Neville. Tough make there by Jalem Adams. So back to 9. As Travis brings it up the floor here. Now back with Harper. And Lewis again. Two pieces of the rim without success.
He doesn't hesitate, Ronnie. You know, if he has half a look at it, it's going up.
And true shooters will know that for sure, Nick. Young with a nice little, well, it just bobbled out there. It was a good take and a good drive, but Young couldn't get it to go. So Lewis here, and that will be on Young. Young just a little bit slow. Lewis still has that step on him. And Lewis will go to the line for 2. Looks like a substitution is going to be made here. Looks like Tim Listing will be coming in for Neville. And 13 there is Chris Arkell. So he's going to come in for Harper. Cam Brown's going to come in for Zach White.
And I'm sure, Ronnie, the players obviously just had a quick huddle there while they wind up waiting for the referees to get them ready for the free throws. And, and I'm sure they would have had a quick chat. And, you know, Benny Willis has definitely been really aggressive right now. So I think it's on the whole team for the Huskies to defend him, you know, as a team and, you know, make some reads off the ball, make some good pack reads and maybe, you know, help a little bit more because really he's not looking to pass it too much right now. No,
certainly not there, Nick. He's certainly not shy of taking those shots, as you've said in the broadcast already. Adams, now Duffelmeyer. Duffelmeyer works his way through, shot from the elbow, and gets it to go. 16-24, back to 8 here. We're just under 90 seconds to play here, term number 1, as we come to you from the Kingross Sports Centre. Live NBL1 action here. Round 15, the penultimate final round in the competition. With a lot to play for still, with ladder positions still yet to be determined, as Adams knocks that one out of bounds and Waverley to get it back. And just looking at the shooting percentage here too, Waverley are shooting it pretty well, 71% from the field. They're 10 of 14 from the field there, Nick. So just goes to show that they've been on fire and on cue there. Not there. McQuarter tried to go to rebound, and then all of a sudden Listing was there to get it. Now another 3 attempted there by Dylan Travis, and he gets it to go. So Waverley out to a very strong start. So Duffelmeyer. Now Radcliffe goes himself. Did have Brown open there at the corner, but turned it down. Adams got the O board. Adams kicks out to Duffelmeyer. Duffelmeyer works his way through and off glass, gets the to go. Back to 9 here. Giving the fans something to cheer about. Lewis. Ball gets kicked around. Travis here. Now Lewis once again kicks it out to Travis, and it goes for 3 again. Dylan Travis on fire here at the Kingross Sports Centre.
They're feeling pretty good about themselves right now, Ronnie.
It's just everything just turning gold for him at the moment here, Nick. Final play here of the first quarter. Adams needs to get it off. Goes all the way and throws it down with a reverse jam. And if that gives some confidence for the boys at quarter time, I'm not sure what will. So Waverley hold a 10-point lead. It's Waverley 30, Hobart 20. And what are your thoughts there from the first quarter, Nick?
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously Waverley is shooting the ball at a really, really high clip at the moment. You know, I think Coach, you know, Mark Chivers is just kind of, I think he's, you know, playing the percentages and just kind of, you know, sticking with his team system. And I guess, you know, he's hoping that over the course of 4 quarters, well, you kind of know they're not going to shoot it at, what, 70% or whatever the...
No, they're still at 70% at the moment. Yeah. Waverley 12 of 17 from the field, Nick, and they're 5 of 8 from three-point line at 62% at the moment.
Yeah, so I think if you're Mark Chivers, you know that that's probably not going to hold. That's not going to hold up over the course of 4 quarters. So I think he's, you know, just trusting his system at the moment. You know, I do feel like they're just sitting in that zone right now, and I think, you know, Waverley's... Well, they're shooting a good percentage, but they're typically getting pretty, you know, wide open looks. So I think it would be good to see a little bit of a, you know, change up defensively from Coach Chivers.
All right. So 10 points is our margin here. As I didn't mention in the broadcast, a really good crowd in. They've made some noise. It's you know, it's been quite some time throughout the season since we've had a decent crowd in, and so we've, you know, really saying thanks to the fans for turning out for the final home game this season. And it certainly has been a lot of fun, that has been for sure. I know, myself and JB have talked about in our preview show midweek that we really enjoyed calling the games here, and, we get a bit excited at times.
I think when you watch, you can tell you guys enjoy it. I think that's fair to say.
No, absolutely. We do review our own footage for sure there, Nick. But, it's been great, and I think, with this new change, the transition from Seabull to NBL1 has brought some new life and some new young emerging talent in this league, Nick, and it's been great to watch over the course of the last few months.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's one thing, NBL1, I feel like it's a pretty young competition, really. A lot of teams have kind of taken a development approach with it, and it's fantastic to see a lot of guys getting an opportunity.
So, Duffelmeyer all the way to start us off, trying to go to tip. Brown there for the scraps, and good work there by Cam Brown as he gets it to go. And let's see what Hobart come out here, Nick, in their defensive possession as the shot goes up. That's long. McCorder, then Cam Brown just rips it off him. Great job there by Cam Brown. Duffelmeyer just slowing this one down, putting on some moves. Has to kick it to Young. Touch pass in the Brown. Brown, nice little move. Gets the roll and does. We're back to a 6-point ball game. Hobart has scored 4 points in the first 35 seconds.
I think that's a good lesson, for, junior players, if they're watching. Tad Duffelmeyer made a really good read there. Drew two defenders and he moved the ball on quickly, and that's, the key to beating aggressive defenses when it comes to ball screen. So
Listing missed a three. Now the ball is back down the other end here with the Huskies as Duffelmeyer works his way through. Now Radcliffe thinking about it, puts it to the floor, pulls up and gets it to go. Great shot there by BJ Radcliffe. 4-point margin, and all of a sudden Hobart have come out with their own 6-0 run. A complete reversal to the start of the first here, Nick.
So a little adjustment here, Ronnie. They're now in a 1-3-1 zone, so staying with the zone, but a little bit of a different look at it, and it's been effective so far for them.
So Lewis misses the three. Rebound went to Brown. Now Duffelmeyer, Radcliffe for the finishing touches. That did a lap of honour and went out. And the ball here with Travis as he brings it down the floor now. McCorster goes all the way. Now foul early on the floor. It's going to be on Radcliffe. Just for reaching in, I believe. Yes, it was. And Waverley to get on the side.
And I think McCorder, he's obviously a really strong body, but shooting at 41%. From free this season, so I'm sure, the scouting report is saying, well, you've got to be able to get out there, take away shot. You probably want to make him be a driver when he's on the perimeter. And
a good drive there by Dylan Travis as he gets two to go, and Waverley find their first score of the game. Their first score of the second quarter.
There we go, Ronnie.
Thank you. There we go. Been a long week. Adams inside to Young. Young puts it to the floor. Nice drive by Matty Young and gets that one to go. Looked like that was too easy in the end there.
It was quite easy, that one.
So back to a 4-point game as Elijah Pawson looking to check in for the first time as well too. Now the ball back with Travis. Now in turn there was Arkell back to Travis, and he hasn't put out the fire yet. He's still on fire, Nick.
Yep, and if you just keep patient and move the ball against the zone, good shots will come.
So Adams. Now Duffelmeyer. Now Young. Oh, nice passing there by the Huskies. Brown gets the reverse.
Yeah, really good, Ronnie. And, that's the key against the zone. Find the nail, all the short corner. Get someone diving on the hoop. Good things will happen.
McCorder puts it up. Good defense there. Well, according illegally to referee Todd Spain, as that will be on Cam Brown. And substitution being made as Elijah Pawson comes in, and Charlie Adams will have a rest. And McCorder will go to the line for two. I haven't seen a big body like him since Lester Strong, who played for the Knox Raiders so many years ago in the Seabull competition. He was a big, strong body from America and was a very hard person to stop. Under Coach Graham Longstaff there in the end. There you go. There's a bit of history for you, Nick.
Yeah, Ronnie, I have no idea what you're talking about right now, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, take my word for it. I'm sure there'll be a few people online that might be able to back me up. But McCorster will come off and have a breather after knocking down the second free throw. We're at a 6-point ball game here, 36 plays 30. And like I say, we don't see many big bodies these days in the league. I just thought I'd mention that example out as Young tries to go off glass. Never there. Neville with the rebound. Now Lewis has it here for the Falcons as he comes down the floor. Now back to Travis once again. Not there. Ball gets kicked out. Sorry, that was Arkell that put up the shot. And now the ball is with Travis on cue, and foot violation on Pawson, and Waverley to get it back.
That's two shots I've seen Arkell take this quarter. I think just a little bit rushed. The reason I say that, he's shooting at 25% from free this season, so I reckon they can get better shots than that.
So good pressure there by the Huskies. Now ball did touch the line, and Young has to give it back to the referee, and the Falcons will get it back with 6 on the shot clock here. Might be looking for a quick hit play here by the sounds of it, Nick. See what we get out of this. So Neville puts it to the floor. Here's Travis now, puts it up.
I think they got lucky there. Elijah Pawson could have been a little bit more disciplined there, just keeping his feet planted, and I think he got away with the foul there.
Radcliffe for 3, yes! BJ Radcliffe with a 3, and all of a sudden we're back to a 3-point ball game. 36-33 here. An entertaining second quarter here from the Kingborough Sports Centre as Neville puts it to the floor. Now, nice move inside to Arkell, who gets the 2 off an easy backdoor cut, easy straight cut. So Duffelmeyer, now Radcliffe. Jacob Richards looking to check back in as Pawson. Inside to Brown. Again, good. Oh, the ball. They're trying to move the ball really quick, but they just rushed that one there, didn't they, Nick?
Yeah, I think, his possession before by Waverley again, just getting the ball to the nail, getting someone else diving on the hoop, against the zone, that's going to be really good for you. I think, quick ball movement's important, but, the use of pass fakes is definitely, something that is underrated against the zone, and I think that would have been helpful there for young Elijah Pawson.
So ball inside with Neville. Now back to Arkell, and finally knocks one down.
Yeah, there you go, a little bit better look, I think, wide open, good execution there by Waverley.
So Duffelmeyer with it, goes cross-court. Radcliffe, puts a sneaky move on, and then couldn't get the 3 to go. Neville there with a rebound. Now the ball with Harper. Travis, good defense there by Brown. Good hustle and determination, and a foul's been called. It's going to be on Travis, and good little defensive play there by the Huskies, who got away with a couple of points there.
Yeah, I think, you got to love how Cam Brown plays. Plays hard, really good defensive player, despite being, undersized for the 4 or 5 man. Really good play there.
So Duffelmeyer, now Pawson, Brown, here's Richards. Richards, good fake, has to kick it out. Duffelmeyer from Huonville, and gets it to go. Tad Duffelmeyer found his range here in the second quarter. So back to 5 here as the ball gets moved around, and with Travis. Now Travis trying to fight his way through and then puts up a tough shot. How do you hit that one?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think, if you're Hobart, you're okay with that shot.
Absolutely. Pawson puts it to the floor. Pawson just goes into one too many white jerseys there. Chan with it now. Kicks it out. Arkell, now Neville. Back to Travis. Travis putting on some moves. Has a look at it. Now back to Arkell for 3. Just short. Neville, Chan there on the fight on the boards, and they get it to go. And there's a few Waverley fans in the house too here, and they're making a little bit of noise as they're marching back out to 9. And multiple substitutions going to be made here by the Huskies at the next stoppage. Duffelmeyer, now Radcliffe. Good little ball fake, as Nick spoke about, and that one doesn't get to go. 2 pieces of the rim without success. So Travis now putting on some moves. Kicks it off to Arkell once again. Arkell now to Neville. Back to Travis. Shot clock at 10 here for the Falcons. Travis puts up a tough runner. Not there. Brown will get the board. Kicks out to Duffelmeyer. Duffelmeyer off and running. Duffelmeyer, nice, pretty backdoor pass. Pawson to Richards, yes! Jacob Richards with a 3. We're back to a 6-point ball game.
That's pretty nice, nice pass there by Tad. you know, I really like when you watch him play. He's got really good poise and composure with the ball, and you know, typically makes good decisions. I think, you know, he's a little bit turnover prone at times. You know, 3.2 timeout here.
Yeah, timeout called by Mark Shivers, who will need to have a look at that, defending that 3-ball a little bit better, Nick. And with 2:56 remaining, it's Waverley 48, Hobart 39.
Yeah, and I think, just to go back on, you know, Tad, I think, he's obviously had a really good season with the Huskies, and you know, been a great addition to them. I think, you know, I'm sure there is a few NBL teams looking at him, you know, right now.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I mentioned he's got good composure. I think, yeah, he's a little bit turnover prone. I just think for that next level, you know, 3.2 turnovers per game. I think he's been really good so far tonight, but for him to take that next step, he's going to have to, you know, probably tighten that up a little bit. But yeah, he's off to a pretty good start tonight.
All right, you speak about, not, you know, the zones, and that Hobart have kind of changed their zones up a little bit. Do you find that that's okay for someone that, you know, you'd like it as a change-up, but you don't like sitting in it? What do you make of that?
Personally, Ronnie, I would say, as a basketball purist, seeing so much zone out there at the moment is doing my head in a little bit.
Yep.
I would like to see a bit more man-to-man defense.
Yep. Fair.
I think, you know, credit to Huskies. The 2-free zone wasn't quite working for them. They've now gone to a 1-3-1. But, you know, I just think, you know, changing up your defenses, you know, that, you know, flip-flopping in between things is more effective than just staying in something for, you know, the whole quarter.
Yep. All right, the thoughts there of Nick Martin. As Yule missed a layup down their end, but meanwhile, Dylan Travis knocks down a 2 down this end of the floor. And the margin back out to 11. Stanwicks, Richards. Gets a good screen there by Yule. Into White. White attacks it, now kicks out to Pawson. Pawson with a tough shot. Not there. And Neville with the rebound. Now Travis up the floor again. Takes a bit of contact, goes all the way. Foul will be on Stanwicks, and Travis will go to the line for 2. So good take there by Dylan Travis, who's having a really good game so far. We'll just see if we can get his numbers up for you. So Dylan Travis already with 24 points in this first half. 3 rebounds and an assist to his name as he knocks down the first. You can make that 25. He's just been playing flat out aggressive. He knows what's on the line this weekend, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, he hit that really tough kind of floater over 2 defenders, you know, a couple of minutes back. And you know you can have a good game when shots like that are going in. And but that does come from he has had some really good looks. And yes, you know, had a really good half so far.
Richards gets a response of his own down to our end, and we'll draw the foul there on Arkell, and Jacob Richards will go to the line for 1.
Yeah, really good poise there by Jacob on the catch. You know, caught it, pass fakes. Really, you know, like there was some movement there by the Huskies, and yeah, really tough finish in the end.
So Jacob Richards will just be long on that one. Now, is that last touch off Stanwicks. So we're back to an 11-point game, 52-41, as we're just on a minute 45 remaining here in the first half. We've got Billy Tomlinson coming in for a halftime interview in the halftime break, so stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, Dylan Travis with a step back and gets it to go. He can make that 28 already in the first half here for Dylan Travis.
I think, I'm sure Coach Chivers is going to have a chat at halftime a bit. They got to throw some sort of different coverage on him when it comes to, you know, ball screen. I would like to see, you know, a hard show or a blitz or something just to get the ball out of his hands right now. It's killing him.
Absolutely. He's single-handedly at the moment. I mean, next best is Benny Lewis with 9 points. So he's single-handedly carrying, fair to say, carrying Waverley at the moment. Yeah. So minute 17 remaining, 54-41 here. As Coach Papanoulis very happy with his team right now for the Waverley Falcons. I'm sure the viewers watching back in Waverley too are very happy as well too. Shout out to you guys. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. Meanwhile, Adams with a backdoor and gets a foul on Chan, and he will go to the line for 1.
It's the first time they've gone to that particular set tonight. you know, they run it on a very regular basis to try and get Jalen Adams a, you know, post touch, and he was wide open there and really good execution.
And Mark Shivers using another timeout here with 1:03 remaining. They trail by 11, 54-43.
Yeah, so I'm interested to hear this timeout by Coach Chivers, and I'm sure he's going to be talking about the next defensive possession. They got to do something to get the ball out of Travis's hands. He's killing him.
Yeah, as we said, 28 points at the moment, and probably our MVP of the game so far. Just by looking at the body language here, I mean, we don't have the mics or that kind of thing down there in the huddles, but from what you can tell with that body language, it looked like he's really trying to, you know, put some, emphasise more defensive pressure.
Yeah, 100%. I think this last minute's, you know, crucial for them. If they could get this back to single digits, then that's, you know, going to give them some confidence, you know, going into the second half.
All right, 3 remaining as both teams come back out onto the floor here. Of course, Charlie Adams will look to complete a 3-point play here to make it 10. It's been a very entertaining first half at the moment, hasn't it, Nick? There's been some really good runs from both teams and some good offensive display and a good defensive display at times as well too.
Yeah, definitely.
So Adams has had a good season here at Hobart. First time out of America, but misses that free throw there. And the ball is with Chan now. And nearly gets trapped at the halfway line. Good pressure by Yule. As it comes back to Harper. In terms to Travis, he'll look to see if he can get 30 for the half here. As he works his way through. Travis, good double team there. Harper goes all the way. Doesn't go. Stanwick's able to put that one down. Gives it off to Yule. Yule now to White. White with a move. Over. Neville not there. Adams, good rebound. And then a foul is going to be called here on Harper. And Charlie Adams will go back to the line for 2.
Yeah, and that's that last defense possession. That's the change up I'm talking about. Ball screen. You know, ball in Travis's hands. They jump out, blitz him. You know, make someone else have to do something, and you know, pay dividends there for the Huskies.
So McWhorter and Lewis are coming back into the game. Meanwhile, Harper and Neville will have a breather. 36.6 remaining here in the second quarter. As we come to you from the Kingborough Sports Centre here in Kingston. On a very cold night, I should add as well too. We've got the window open upstairs here as Adams makes the first. So we're back to a 10-point ball game. Can we make it 9? We sure can. So 45-54. Now we'll see if the Falcons go for a quick 2-for-1, or they might just look to slow it to a possession here for them, which will give the Huskies the last one in the quarter. Travis, now Lewis, has to kick it around. Here's Travis once again putting on some moves. Now, is that an offensive foul? No, it's going to count. The foul's called on Stanwicks. And Dylan Travis will get his 34 and a half. He may get 31 here.
I think that's, you know, just maybe a little bit of inexperience there from Jack. Did a really, you know, good job getting through screens and stuck with Travis, and then, you know, made him move the ball on, and then he kind of just jumped off a little bit too much and allowed him a catch again. I felt like he could have just stayed there and, you know, denied him the ball and made someone else have to do something.
So final play here is Travis makes the free throw, and he's at 31 for the half. Stanwicks to Adams. 8 seconds remaining. Now Adams needs to get busy. 5 seconds. Adams needs to think about what he's going to do. Adams over 2 defenders and gets it to go. And at half-time here on that Charlie Adams baseline jumper sees Waverley lead by 10. It's Waverley 57, Hobart 47. And Nick, what were your thoughts there in the second quarter?
Yeah, you know, I thought a good fight back by the Huskies. You know, once it got out to double digits there, it could have easily, you know, instead of being 10 points at half, it could have got out to 20. So I thought good fight back there. I definitely like the adjustment. You know, on the ball screen, the last minute or so, you know, their ball screen coverage, they've gone to, you know, a bit more aggressive when Travis has the ball, make him, you know, move it on. You know, so yeah, it'll be really interesting to see the adjustments that both coaching groups will make here at halftime. And yeah, it's living up to its expectation right now. This game, it's been a high-scoring affair, and the team that will step up and play some defense will probably get the win tonight.
All right, the thoughts there from Nick Martin. We're going to ask Nick to take the headset off just for a little bit, and he's going to pass it over to our special guest here at halftime in our live NBL1 coverage. And, of course, there's been a lot of talk about the Tasmanian bid of the NBL with NBL owner Larry Kesselman looking to buy the Durham Entertainment Centre. He's having talks with the Glenorchy City Council at the moment. And, of course, the last time we had a team in the league, this person right here was the last coach of that team, and we welcome him back to Tasmania. He's here on a holiday as he now resides in China. Billy Tomlinson, welcome to NBL1 coverage.
Thank you very much.
Let's go straight to it. I mean, what are your thoughts on this potential Tasmanian team bid that could get up if it goes the way that it could go, as a few people say it?
Oh, it'd be wonderful. It'd be absolutely wonderful. You know, we're out here on a freezing cold night in Tasmania, and the stands are full, and people enjoying the game. And Tasmania always has. But the thing is, same question as it was 20-something years ago. Can it be sustained? And if they have a business plan, if Larry and the NBL have a business plan and the people involved, then that's wonderful.
What do you make of the NBL now? I mean, Larry's put a lot of time and effort in, and Jeremy Lowlinger, the CEO of the NBL, is putting in the same amount of work too. So what do you make of looking from afar now since your involvement from the league?
It's sort of like had different modules of it over the last 10 or so years, but it's like Larry's grabbed it by the ears and pulled it up, and it looks very good, very strong. And then some of their concepts and some of their ideas, bringing in the young kids from the college that are coming into play, like mellow ball and things like that. That creates more of an international feel for it and more people interested from the outside. So, I mean, the exposure and to the world is what we really need with the NBL.
And, of course, you now live in China and coach there as well too. What's the type of reaction you get about the NBL in China, so to speak? What do people come up and talk to you about, or do people ask about it, or no? Not at
all. The NBL China and the NBL do a good job of coming out and playing games, and the Chinese, there are 3 NBA offices in China. So China, it's all about the NBA.
Yep.
And that's what they're focused on, and the NBA put a hell of a lot of money in promotional work. Where do the NBA players go in the off-season? They all head to do clinics and promotional work in China. So that's their focus. And then it'll be the CBA, the Chinese league after that.
Yep.
Not a lot of people in China know a lot about the NBL. And that's not a bad thing either.
Yeah.
Because China is a very insulated country. It's like another world.
I can only imagine. Bill, how have you found coaching athletes over there compared to, say, here in Australia? Is there any difference from a Western-type culture to what they teach in their culture?
Definitely. The kids here are far more advanced. The kids coming through the different programs in Australia and the different, ITC programs and that are far more advanced. So the Chinese kids, the level of coaching that they get, it can't compare to the level of coaching that we get here. So most of the money in China goes to the top end, goes to the CBA, and they need to reverse that role. So they need to start paying some good coaches at the junior level to get them sharpened up there. So they love the game, but they sort of still haven't figured out where most of their investment, in my opinion, should go.
Yep. Fair. I just want to quickly touch on your son, Nate, who I think I saw on social media earlier this week or late last week that he got promoted in the coaching ranks there at Colorado State.
He's gone back to where he played his college ball at Colorado University, not Colorado State.
Oh, sorry, my apologies.
Colorado State
my apologies.
The enemy, but that's fine.
All right,
no, but he's great. No, he played there, and they love him there.
Yep.
They won the Pac-12 championship when he was the starting point guard, and they've always talked about him coming back. When he left the NBL, he come and worked for me for 6 months in China with my team, and did a great job. And I felt confident in his ability, that's the route that he will take as a coach. And Tad Boyle, the head coach at Colorado, has done everything he could to accommodate Nate doing that. And finally there's a full-time position on staff, and then that will lead to an assistant coach's job in the future.
What have you made of the game here so far? 10 points is a margin here between Hobart and Waverley. What do you thought of it?
It's a great game. You know, I went and watched the boys practice last night, and I said to Mark, I love the enthusiasm of your team. It's the last game of the year, and they're out there, you know, really working hard and getting excited about this game. And I love their enthusiasm on the floor. They've just ran into this kid Travis that's dropped 30-something on him on the last time. And obviously he's an import, I would say, for sure.
Yep.
And that's what they do. There's a bit of a size difference. The Waverley team are a little bigger and a little stronger. But it's a great game. Both teams are executing well, and I'm enjoying the game.
You enjoying the game? How about your time back here in Tasmania? How are you enjoying that?
We went on a little tour today, some of the places that I used to know 20 years ago.
Yes.
But what I did see is I looked back across the river to Hobart town, and I saw all the cranes. You know, I thought, damn, look at all the cranes. So good things are happening. You know, when you see cranes anywhere, you know there's money being spent and development going on, and that has to be a good thing. And there are a lot of places that have changed a lot. I was back here 2 years ago, but there is a lot of good things happening, what I can see in Hobart. And I even started talking to Mark. I better start looking at realestate.com for Hobart.
Do you have any intentions of coming back to Australia if your, say, time is up with the coaching in China?
Yeah, there is always an end date to all coaches, no matter who they are, where they are, NBA, NBL, whatever. There's always a use-by date. I've been over there 10 years now, and I'm not there for... I'm there because it's good.
Yeah.
You know, we get looked after extremely well. You know, Gorgon and myself have been over there for 10 years now, probably two of the longest foreign coaches to be over there. And it's still good. I'm really supported by the Li Ka-shing Foundation, who fund the thing that I do. But, you know, I'm 60 now, just turned 60. So one of my favourite pastimes is realestate.com and looking at when I'm done and dusted over there where I'd like to be.
You still a plumber by trade?
That's my trade, but I haven't changed a tap washer in a long time, and probably wouldn't even know how to go about it. But you know, basketball's been very, very good to me and my family, and I've seen most of the world through that, and the last 10 years in China have been exceptional for us.
I was going to say, you just quickly mentioned about Gorge and Brian Gorge, and of course probably one of the best coaches we've had in the NBL by far, in my opinion. How's he been going there, and how's he adapted to the lifestyle?
He loves it there. You know, he's had several opportunities to come back to Australia, but he likes China. The league, the CBA league, has improved dramatically. You know, you've got guys, NBA players coming, instead of sitting on the bench in an NBA program, they'd rather come to China and play. And the level has just exploded, the coverage, and it's an exciting place to be. It's exciting. It's really good basketball. So he has a little bit of a mission that he did really well with the Dongguan Leopards, and they changed up on him, and he's been floating around at a few clubs more recently, more as an advisor, not so much as the head coach. And he's just moved in with the Qingdao club, where he lines himself up with one of the most successful Chinese coaches. What? A guy, so Bob Hill, who used to be the San Antonio Spurs coach before Coach Pop, he was the advisor there. Well, now Gorge has moved into that role. Okay. So they're pretty switched on to the Western ways in that club. So I think he's got a good chance, of maybe getting that ring, which is what he wants to do. He sort of wants to cap his time off in China with a good run at the playoffs.
All right. What's ahead for you? I mean, you're still coaching over there, still working with players. What's ahead for you coming up over the next few months or so within your program?
So I head back on the 1st of August. And the 1st of August, I'll go into a camp. I've got a few. Actually, Evan Gordon, Eric Gordon's brother. Yes. He'll come in and join me for 10 days. And I have a strength and conditioning coach from Italy coming in, and we'll knuckle down on my guys, more like an NBA veterans camp. We'll come in and hit them 3 a day for 10 days before they all go back to their classes, and then we'll go on the road and barnstorming. I call it barnstorming. Yep. We go barnstorming, play games all over China. Christmas, we'll have the first round of the CUBA, and then we get through that. That's our goal, to get through there. And then we get into the second round. So our whole thing is done on tournament play. We play 3 tournaments and getting prepared for that. And in the preparation for that, I'll take my team to Denver, where Nate is, in the US to do some high altitude training in January. And then we'll go down into LA and we'll play some junior colleges and some teams getting ready for the second round, which is a part of our preparation. And so that's basically it.
All right. It sounds like you get to travel a bit as well too. It's always nice seeing other bits of the world. Billy, in your time?
I have I've loved all my jobs. The WNBL with the Flames and blah blah blah. But the support I get from the Li Kai-shing Foundation, has been absolutely sensational. And I have a facility that no one has in China, and also an arena that hardly anyone has. So as a basketball coach, I'm in hoop heaven.
Yep.
For whatever I want, I got it.
That's excellent to hear. Billy, great to catch up with you. I'll tell you what, we did a Skype interview about 5 years ago now, I think, in the lead up to that Hobart Devils reunion game. But and of course it was a bit dodgy, the connection. We're glad you're here in person though, so great to catch up with you, and thanks for your time here on our NBL1 coverage.
Always great to be back in Hobart town and seeing old friends, but seeing the love for the sport is still very strong, and I hope everything goes well with the future with that.
All right, thanks very much, Bill, as he will hand the headset over back to Nick Martin.
Here we go, Nick.
57-47 is our scoreline here at half-time. Great to catch up with Billy T as he exits out of our commentary room. I just take out our own cameraman there. And we might as well keep rolling here. I won't go to break because that was such a long interview, Nick. It was quite good. You might as well give us some more analysis of that first half, or maybe what you think might happen in the second half.
Yeah. Obviously awesome. That interview, just to be able to get someone who's pretty connected, with the history of basketball down here, and with the NBL, and there's obviously a lot of good things happening with the NBL. The NBL Blitz coming down here.
Yes, that too.
Which is going to be exciting, and there's obviously a lot of other moving parts at the moment. For this game, I think, like I said before, whatever team it is that is going to step up and play a little bit of defense this second half, I think that's going to go a long way to getting a win. So, personally, spoke about it, in that second quarter there. I would like to see, a little bit less zone for consecutive possessions. I really like it, when you jump into it for a possession or two, or, you do it, say, on a dead ball situation or something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more man-to-man defense here, particularly from Hobart with how well Waverley's shooting the ball. Probably that's the thing. When you play zone, you can get pretty good looks if you stay patient, you move the ball and get the ball to the right spot. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit more man-to-man defense from Hobart this half. And they started to do it that last minute there. I think doing a job on Travis that's the number one priority right now, and but then at the same time, Travis has had a great half, but then they got some other, horses in Lewis and McWhorter who can't forget about them, and they could definitely have a really big second half here.
Absolutely, the shooting percentages, you mentioned it there, Nick. It's 61%. From the field here for Waverley. They're 22 of 36 at the moment. Their three-point percentage is 50% at 8 of 16. Meanwhile, for Hobart, 21 of 43 at 48%. And then only 3 of 13, which at 23% at the three-point line there. So some interesting kind of data there. Turnovers have been very low for both teams. 3 to Hobart, 4 to Waverley. The assist again a close 9-7 there in favour of Hobart. And then the rebounds are quite even at the moment as well too. As we get underway here in the second half, Travis with it now, getting harassed there by White. Harper puts it onto the floor, kicks it back out to Lewis. Back to Travis. He'll look for another big second half here. McWhorter all the way and gets it to go.
You can't. Zach White, great player, obviously, but you can't sit behind McWhorter. You got to do a job, get through some screens, and you got to front the post. You just can't give him a catch there.
So they're out to a 12-point lead now. Duffelmeyer with it, goes exploring, Now White open for three. Yes. Sack White with a three there, and all of a sudden the margin back to that 9-point game. Now we'll see what the Falcons come out with here. As Neville now turned to Travis. Travis closely guarded there by Duffelmeyer. McWhorter found an open and wanted to go upstairs, but then had to readjust and get the two to go.
Yeah, they definitely, obviously gone through the last two possessions. They like, the cross screen, down screen action, and it's pretty, McWhorter when he catches the ball in the box, pretty tough to stop.
Nice drive there by Duffelmeyer, who found the open lane there and was able to get it to go for two. So 61-52 scoreline here, as we've just played on a minute and a half here in the third quarter. Now the ball comes with Neville. Back to Lewis. Again, looking to go inside to McWhorter. Now, nice cut there by Neville and gets the two to go.
So now's the challenge for the Huskies. What do? Do they go back to a zone where you have Travis and guys like that shooting the ball really well, or you got to make an adjustment? Just McWhorter's, he's killing you down low.
Travis, nice adjust. Good teamwork there by the Falcons, and Harper gets it to go. So they lead by 13. They say the third quarter is the premiership quarter here. Hobart really need to get a wriggle on here and try to make a game of this, because their playoff spot is on the line here tonight. Richards. Now Stanwicks putting it on the floor. It's half fade away. White there with the rebound. Now, is that going to be on? Neville's claiming it, and we'll go on Neville. There's Hobart, will get it back. So Hobart looking to run a little baseline play here. See what goes on. Adams pulls up from elbow range and gets it to go. 65-54 here. So Lewis. Now Neville. Wants to go to Harper. Does so. Back to Travis. Now Lewis pulls up from the top of the key and gets it to go. Benny Lewis, the former Melbourne Tiger, gets it to go down. Now Stanwicks back to Duffelmeyer. White. Good ball moving here. Stanwicks puts it to the floor. Oh, nice pass into Richards. Adams with a good O-board and gets it to go. So back, they're at 11 here. Waverley just holding a bit of a buffer so far, and see what Hobart need to get a couple more stops here defensively just to get their way back into it. And there's one there for you, Nick, as McWhorter doesn't reel that one in.
Yeah, a little bit of a wayward pass there. I really like how Waverley's going about it though. Moving the ball, they're trying to get the guy, the ball to the right guys in their spots. Yes, it's been a good quarter so far.
Certainly has. And Stanwicks just turns that one over. Wanted to go to White, but it wasn't the greatest of options as Travis pulls up and making point number 34 for Dylan Travis.
That's that heat check. He hasn't had a shot, this quarter, and first chance he got at it, he was going to make sure he was going to check where he was at from his shooting in the first half.
Duffelmeyer, puts it to the floor. Nice backdoor pass to White. Puts up the shot. Not there. McWhorter pulls that one in. Harper. Now Travis once again. Back to Harper. Good little transition there. Last touch by Harper's foot. Waverley bench making its case. And a timeout has been called by Hobart. Coach Shivers has seen enough. Leaders out to 14. There's been an overturn now. And it will go back to the Falcons. So Waverley up by 14, 70-56.
This is an interesting one. Ronnie, as coaches, we definitely, and with our state coaches and, obviously Mark Radford, heading up our program, and, got Brad Cannon in the north, and we got a lot of, really good network coaches, and, the likes of, I guess in the south, Daniel Saville, Ben Lawson, a lot of really good,
absolutely,
network coaches. Something we talk to them about is, when you use your timeouts, like obviously you want to use them to stop runs.
Yep.
One, I guess, a rule of thumb is something we would say is try and not call a timeout, or don't call a timeout if the other team's going to have possession of the ball out of the timeout. So, that was an interesting one there. Chivers has gone to call a timeout. A little bit of confusion from the referees about whose ball is going to be. they kind of already, this timeout basically started. But,
Yep.
Now Hobart's used the timeout. Now it's going to be Waverley's ball. So when that does happen, I think you got to look at changing up your defence some way, just so you don't allow the other team an opportunity to draw up a play to get a good look.
All right. The thoughts there from Nick Martin, who's the Southern Development Officer here for Basketball Tasmania. He's joining us in commentary tonight, filling in for our good mate JB. Rejected by White after McCourt put that up. Neville and then lost it, and Huskies to get it back. Of course, for those fans that do tune in on a regular basis, yes, JB is away this weekend on our final home game, but he will be back for our preview show coming up next week. We'll wrap the Huskies games here tonight against the Falcons. White, now Adams on the cut. Adams throws it down with one-hand jam.
That was a nice play there, Ronnie. I know that got you excited. That was pretty good.
We love it when Charlie Adams gets upstairs, Nick. He's been a highlight machine.
Definitely.
Don't worry, we're putting up top 10 dunks of the season and Charlie Adams will probably feature in all 10 of them if we're not careful. Meanwhile, Travis is looking to work his way in now. With a bit of acting as well too. I think he's going to claim 2 shots here. No, referee David Farmer's calling that one on the side. So Falcons to restart. Ooh, ball goes to Travis. Duffelmeyer equal to it. Gets a hand on that. Go back to the Falcons here with 5:06 remaining. 12 points is our margin. 70-58. So Lewis to restart. Now with Travis. McCorder looking for that on ball. Travis. Now McCorder. Rejected by White. Great defensive play there by Zach White. Zach White says, not in my house. There's Duffelmeyer. Now Richards. Duffelmeyer gets the on ball from Richards. Duffelmeyer putting on some moves. Tries to put on the skates. And then the foul is assessed on Neville. And Callum Barker looking to check in for the first time tonight. So, Callum Barker coming in. Richards having a breather. We'll see. Now, Callum Barker's just come off a bit of a shoulder injury as well too, so we'll be interested to see how he goes here in the next few minutes. As Duffelmeyer puts it to the floor. Now White. White putting it on over Neville. It was a good option, a better option that the ball goes in, and Zach White will go to the line for one.
Yeah, really good take there, Ronnie. I would say Neville, a little bit of a breakdown on the scout. Zach White catching the top. He's a hard, right-hand driver, so I think, just his stance on his closeout kind of gave him that lane to the hoop. But credit to the offense. Good take, good finish.
So margin back at 10 here. It's still an arm's length here, now 9. Still an arm's length here, Nick, with 4.5 to go. And can the Huskies make a little run here?
A little bit of a change up again. They've gone back to this 1-3-1 zone.
All right. Yep. So Harper. Now Travis for 3. And he misses. That's probably the first time in quite some time as the ball gets kicked. We'll go back to the Falcons. Now, substitution being made on Waverley's end. It will be Arkell coming back into the game. And Neville's going to have a rest. So 4:14 remaining. We're 9 points our margin. McCorder. Now Travis. He's had a really good game tonight. Harper into Arkell. White fall for the fake. Back to Harper. Just long. Travis with his own rebound there. And last touch by White. And it will go back to the Falcons. I think Lewis was kind of aiming for a foul. Referees didn't see it that way.
A little bit of definitely some emotion in this game. I think both teams know what's on the line.
Yep, as Adams commits the foul there and go for line for 2. Substitution be made. Sam Ewell coming in for Jack Stanwicks.
Just got to be disciplined on your closeouts. Ronnie, he got lost a little bit, gave him a bit of separation there. Travis coming off, that double screen, and he was rising up to shoot the shot. But you got to keep your feet on the ground, planted on your closeout. You can't, or else you know, they get cheap ones at the free throw line.
As I always say, Nick, stay down. All I want you to do is a hard closeout. That's why I say to my juniors when I coach.
That's all you want. You want, you know, hips down, you know, feet wide, high hands.
Absolutely. Yeah, don't fall for these fakes. It's just something. It's just a coach killer for me. Meanwhile, Duffelmeyer from the free throw. Oh, tough make there by Tad Duffelmeyer. So back to 9 once again. Seems like it's just going to stay there. Something's got to happen here for the Huskies in these last 3.5 minutes here as Lewis, now Harper, inside to McWhorter. McWhorter takes out wide, and that is an offensive foul.
And good job there by Zach White. You know, McWhorter, right-handed player, but his actual preference is to catch and go left. So made a really good read there. You know, read that he was going hard to his left hand and took it on the chest.
So good work there by Zach White. I mean, now they've got the Falcons into a bit of foul trouble here too from a team perspective. One more and the Huskies will go to the line as Barker. This will be an interesting matchup. Wants to go to handoff with Duffelmeyer. Does so. Duffelmeyer getting closely guarded by Harper. Now White. Adams. Adams finds his way through. Nice reverse by Charlem Adams there. Great work. Back to 7 here, 72-65. Just sense if the Huskies can chip away this margin, we will have a ball game if we don't have already. Meanwhile, Harper from the corner, not there. Adams, good work to tip that one away. Duffelmeyer off and running. Nice pass to White and throws it down. Zach White of the great transition play. And coach, Paralonis needs to call a timeout and talk it over. We are back to a 5-point ball game. Waverley 72, Hobart 67.
Yeah, Tad, he's been excellent, you know, this game and particularly this quarter. They started, you know, the quarter of him and they try to get him in a lot of middle pick and roll stuff, and he makes some really good, you know, reads out of all that. And you know, obviously just then in transition, just the poise he has, and you know tricked basically the whole defensive team and thinking he was about to pull it out, and you know, just has great vision, finds the open guy cutting to the hoop. So yeah, you got to love his game.
Certainly do, and that was a great transition play for the Huskies. And just looking down at Waverley's huddle here, we get a good look from our vantage point to see both coaches' body language, and you can tell here the Waverley coach there just really trying to emphasise just a bit of heart, and maybe just a bit more defensive pressure here. Meanwhile, for the Huskies, Mark Shivers is calm and composed as he's working through a set here for the boys to run. And they're just keeping their composure. Yeah, and that's what you need.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing, you know, you've got to give, you know, Mark Shivers a lot of credit for. He's obviously a really experienced coach, and having a young group like he does, he has really good body language on the sideline, and you know, never gets too high, never gets too low, and kind of just identifies the teachable moments, and yeah, does a really good job keeping his group composed.
All right, Lewis with it at the corner. Good double team. Ball gets moved around. Harper with a good ball fake, and then goes up himself. Now, he was fouled. We'll see who this is on. It's going to be on Barker, and Michael Harper will go to the line for 2. So 2:25 remaining. Harper with a good drive there to get himself to the line for 2. Crowd making a bit of noise here. Makes the first. Waverley fans are happy in the stands. Great to see some Waverley fans making a Tassie road trip. Obviously, Waverley's first time in the NBL1. They have been in the Big V competition for quite some time, so good to see them making the step up, and good to see some travelling fans. Always good to have some travelling fans with you on a road trip, Nick.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, awesome crowd here in attendance tonight, Ronnie, which is what we want to see.
Barker one-on-one with McWhorter. This is not a bad matchup. The little Gib from Yule now to Adams, and good work there by the Huskies. Back to 5, 74-69 is our scoreline here. As Lewis comes down the floor now, here's Travis. Travis has been a little bit quiet in this third quarter, and, well, Travis works his way to the line, and Yule came off second best on that one.
Yeah, you know, trying to get through and get back in front, and you know, did a really good job, Travis, just keeping the defender on his back and his hips, and yeah, read it really well and gets to the line because of it.
A few substitutions being made in. McCorder coming off along with Harper, and then I'm seeing Listing there coming in. And I'm just trying to think who else came on there. Nick, did you see there? Might have been Neville, I reckon.
Yes.
Yes, so I'm getting, even our cameraman Felix here is giving us the thumbs up.
I'm glad someone is on that game up here. Unfortunately, I'm not ready. My apologies.
It's all right. We're all working together here pretty well here tonight. Great to have Nick Martin with us on our final home game of the season, and good to be with you wherever you are watching around the country or even around the world via the screens of the NBL YouTube channel. White for 3. Yes. Zach White knocks it down, and we're back to a 4-point ball game.
Important 90 seconds here for Waverley. If they can extend it out a little bit closer to 10 points, that's obviously what they're going to be looking to do.
So Travis with it now, kicks it out to Listing, try to go to Neville. Neville nearly loses it. Good hands by Barker. Now ball last touch by Barker. White claiming to come off Neville. And the team's stating their cases, but Waverley win that one on protest. As Lewis to restart. 9 on shot clock here for the Falcons. So the ball comes to Travis. Good pass to Neville for the deep 2 and gets it to go. Great shot there by Dean Neville. So 78-72. This has been a really good game so far, Nick. I look forward to your thoughts at three-quarter time as Adams, now Duffelmeyer. Now Yule thinks about it. Two-man game as Yule goes for 3. And why not? Sam Yule gets it to go. And we are at a 3-point ball game. With about 40 seconds to play here in the third. This has been a great contest. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here on your home of hoops, the NBL1 coverage, as the ball now goes to Arkell, and he knocks down the mid-range change. A little bit of a shootout happened. Adams is clear for takeoff and gets it to go. Great work there by Jalen Adams on the great transition play by the Huskies.
A little bit lucky there by the defender. Put his arm in, and he did a good job pulling out kind of last minute, but that could have, with the referees and how they like to call it, could have easily have seen that one called unsportsmanlike if there was, just a little bit more contact on the play.
Absolutely. Adams to get that. He's short on that. Now we're back to a 3-point ball game. 80-77 here at the Kingborough Sports Centre. This has certainly been a good game so far. We're the only game on tonight in round 15, in the penultimate round of NBL1, this is pretty much the last round of the season. Now Listing will go to the line for 2. Both teams in the bonus here. So Tim Listing at the line. Knocks down the first. Crowd making a bit of noise. Always good to see. And knocks down the second. We're back to 5, 13.4 remaining. Duffelmeyer with it now. What can the Huskies get out of this last play here?
Little pick and roll.
Righto, Nick's called it. Duffelmeyer all the way and gets it to go down. And Travis here as the three-quarter time buzzer goes. And we're back to a 3-point ball game. All of a sudden, we are in for a roller coaster fourth quarter. As I'm waiting for the scoreboard to update. There we go. Thank you very much. 82 Waverley, 79 to Hobart. And Nick Martin, what did you make of that third quarter?
Yeah, spoke about it during one of the timeouts. I think Tad Duffelmeyer had excellent quarter. If I'm Waverley, I want to, kind of like we spoke about, Hobart, I want to get the ball out of Travis's hands. Well, now if I'm Waverley, I want to try and get the ball out of Duffelmeyer's hands. Just when he's getting the ball and he's involved in middle pick and roll, particularly driving hard on his right hand, he's making some good plays. Finishing on the hoop in that last possession of the quarter there, and or otherwise just making good reads on when to kick it out when the defense collapses. So, if I'm Waverley, maybe you look at tagging him and denying him a catch so he doesn't get the ball. He had an excellent third quarter, and I'm probably being a little, we haven't had it for 3 quarters yet, Ronnie, so I'm probably being very wishful here. But if one team could step up and play some really good defence, then I think that team would win. Obviously a really high-scoring quarter again. For all the fans, they love to see scoring. For the coach and, particularly myself and I guess my philosophy. And,
no. Feel free to go for it, Nick.
Obviously, when I was in Cairns, if there's one thing you know about Aaron Fern, that man likes his defence.
My word, he does.
And
shout out to Aaron Fern.
Definitely, he likes his defence. So, I definitely do as well. So this is killing me a little bit to see a really high-scoring affair, which I'm sure a lot of other people enjoy. Come on, someone's got to play some D this fourth quarter. Here we go.
All right, I can tell you it was a 32-25 scoring quarter. Hobart winning that one by 7. And it's been quite high scoring. 30-20 going to Waverley in the first. And it was 27 apiece by both teams at the end of quarter number 2. And as I've just said, 32-25 in Hobart's favour. And this sets us up for a really good, tight finish, we hope. But in some ways, I'm kind of with you, Nick. I'd like to see a bit of D being played as well too, but I do like the scoring side of it for the product of the league.
Absolutely.
Which is good to see.
I'm probably a minority here. So.
Fair enough. Now, meanwhile, we've had a foul on the play. It's going to be called on Lewis as he goes down on the ground as we've started the fourth quarter. Hobart had possession to start us off with. So Hobart to get it back. That's Lewis's first foul for the night. So that's irrelevant in some ways. Barker hands it off to Duffelmeyer. Duffelmeyer working his way through, trying to look through, kicks it out. Adams, it's half step back and gets it to go. Great shot there by Chalem Adams. So ball with Lewis here as we are now back to a 1-point ball game. And Travis once again, he's open for 3 and he's now starting to get a little bit cold. And Nick, you're probably right in saying that it's not, that scoring's not going to last as long as it needs to. Adams has to kick it out now and does so. White, shot clock at 10. Ewell thinks about it. Barker and Neville one-on-one. Barker has to kick it out, does. Ewell for 3, just short. Duffelmeyer and Listing there for the rebound. Listing got the better of that one as Lewis comes down the floor now. Lewis with some nice moves. Good crossover. Rejected by Barker. Great work there by Callum Barker. Adams. Ewell this time for 3. Just doesn't get that one to go. That would have been a good one there for the crowd. So ball now. Arkell from deep.
He's taken a few of them this game. I just feel they can get better than that.
So Duffelmeyer bringing it down with still at 1 point, 82-81 as Hobart just get a settle here and try to run it. Now Neville with some clean hands, but loses control, and Hobart to get it back. Redcliffe to come in here for Zach White. No? Or is it going to be Samuel? Samuel is coming out. So White to inbound. As Mark Shivers probably has a quiet word to referee Martin Parker there, just trying to work the referees over a little bit. Duffelmeyer, good pass to Radcliffe. Now White. White, nice move, but good pressure there by Arkell. Now, is that going to count? No, won't. Now, I believe the foul will be called on Arkell because he brought his arms down, which made contact. So Radcliffe will go to the line. I think it's Zach White, that will go to the line for 2. So, McCorta coming in for Neville. And that's not a bad substitution. So White at a line for 2. Of course, Zach White, a part of that championship Hobart Chargers team. They won the Siebel last year. It was a very key part to that team as he knocks down 2 of 2 and showing that he's a key part of this Huskies team this season.
Yeah, and he's a guy that, statistically you look at his numbers and you're not totally amazed, but he does a lot of things really well that don't always show up in the statistical categories, and him and Tad and Jalen have done a pretty good job leading this young group.
All right, ball with McCosta. McCosta going all the way over White, not there. Barker pulls down a big rebound. Stuffelmeyer with it now. Hobart do lead by 1, 83-82. Stuffelmeyer puts it on. Wanted White. White wasn't tempted to lift up on that one. Adams, shot clock at 10 here for the Huskies. Adams needs to get busy now. Adams, now Radcliffe for 3. Yes, BJ Radcliffe coming to the party late. Huskies up by 4, 86-82. After a very hot start here by the Falcons, the Huskies have worked their way back in it. And Duffelmeyer coming over the top with some hops of his own. Falcons get it back. Harper comes in for listing. Lewis to inbound here.
I'll be intrigued to watch the coach of Waverley here, and the momentum's definitely pulling towards Hobart. Like when do you use that next time out? So obviously coaches want to try and save it for.
Oh, nice D by Barker, and again, good job there by the Huskies. Now foul's been called, and let's see who it's on. It's going to be on Zach White eventually there. As the first couple of times were really good there, some good defence by Barker. I don't mean to cut you short, there,
right, mate.
Nick, but I get your point. Yeah. When do you pull that trigger?
That's it. Coaches, you obviously naturally want to try and save them, but really once it's a 6, an 8-0 run, you got to use it, or else the game could be over. Before you even get to those last few minutes where you've tried to save the timeouts up for. So watch here the next minute how this swings, or else I feel like Waverley might need to use one.
All right. So Duffelmeyer with it, as McCosta only got 1 or 2. Now Duffelmeyer, Adams gets upstairs and goes again and gets it off the window. Great shot by Charlie Adams. So Travis with it now. Hobart up by 5, 88-83 here as Lewis. Now Harper, in term to McCosta. Good defence there by the Huskies. They're doing everything they can to stop that bloke, but he's equal to the challenge.
He's pretty tough.
My word. Marching back to 3 once again. As Duffelmeyer comes in. Looks like Neville's coming in for another stint here. Adams. Now Duffelmeyer. In turn Radcliffe. Now White inside. Hobart working their way around. Poor work there by the Huskies, and they turn it over. Travis goes up and gets the use of a friendly roll for a 2. We're back to a 1-point ball game.
Here we go, Ronnie. This is what the fans came out to see. This is what we wanted, and we got it. Close game, just over 5.5 minutes ago. 1-point game. Here we go.
This is what we want. Money time now, and that foul will be on Arkell. As we get to, the nitty-gritty part of this game as we come to the concluding stages. Now, Neville's going to come in for Arkell. So Arkell straight to the dressing room as well too. So I'm wondering what that is for. We'll get back to you on that one. Barker. Now Duffelmeyer. White. Back to Duffelmeyer. Works his way through. That's a poor turnover there by Duffelmeyer as Travis comes down. Here's an opportunity here for the Falcons to retake the lead. Lewis. Inside to McCosta, 1-on-1 with Barker. McCosta works his way through. Good defence there by Callum Barker. Great work as Duffelmeyer off and running. Puts on some skates. Good strip. Well, it was done illegally according to the referees. So we'll be on Harper as Duffelmeyer works his way to the line.
I just think that last play down, the one before, Tab was driving hard. I think spoke about it earlier in the game. Those kind of turnovers are the ones that he's got to try and eliminate from his game. Something guards fall in the habit of trying to do when it's middle pick and roll is try and throw it to the roller a lot and kind of thread the needle. And like that one there, he's just trying to thread the needle, wasn't quite there. So that's when, if you don't have your shot, you got to look for your throwback passes, and then maybe that guy's got the shot, or he can throw it to the roller.
So marching back out to 3, 90-87. We've ticked on 5 minutes here in the fourth. Trust you are enjoying the coverage here. This could be game of the round if we're not careful here. Nick, as Travis puts it up, just short. McCosta with the rebound. Now that's going to be on Barker. Barker came in late. Now, There's a fair bit happening down on court there. The fans and players are getting passionate, and that's what you want to see in one of these close games.
I want to see it. I think if you're Hobart, you just want to try to keep your emotions pretty level though at the moment, just because it's kind of going your way, the momentum. You don't want to do something silly that could hurt the team and swing the momentum.
Good call, Nick. That's what you want as Costa goes up and gets that one to go. Barker's been playing all right on him. The matchup kind of works out well, but Costa equal to the challenge and probably a little bit more experience as well too. As Duffelmeyer goes to Radcliffe, back to Duffelmeyer himself. Now Radcliffe, a lot of two-man passing here. The ball needs to get moved around. White at the top of the key and doesn't get that one to go. Neville with the rebound. Hobart hold a 1 point lead here, 4.5 remaining as Travis now down low to McCoyster. Oh, nice pass into Travis, but good defensive pressure there by Jalem Adams, who was able to force that shot going nowhere. Radcliffe for three, just short. Duffelmeyer nearly steals that one out of nowhere as Harper comes down the floor now. Harper putting on some moves. Back to McCoyster. Travis with it now, gets an on ball, goes to work here. Good take. Now Lewis bobbles that one. Adams is there, equal to the challenge. Adams, good defensive pressure. Harper, good defensive sequence by the Huskies as the Falcons turn that one over. Duffelmeyer just slows it down a bit here, and that's not a bad thing to do in this situation.
You've got to get some movement here in the half court, Ronnie. Been quite stagnant in the last few possessions.
Absolutely. There's been a bit of two-man passing, and then they go to the top of the key for that shot, so they need to move the ball around. Duffelmeyer from Huonville, not there.
Just another possession, Ronnie. I felt like ball just got stuck in hands a little bit. Didn't quite know where. What was the next pass? What was the next bit of movement, action they want to run? So they've got to get the ball moving here.
Do you sense play's a little bit tired here?
100%, Ronnie.
Yep. 1 point in it now, 90-89 here. 3 and a bit to go. Falcons looking to retake the lead here by Lewis. Not happening there. Neville with the O board. Oh, good ball fake by Harper. Harper all the way, gets the foul and will get it to go. And the Waverley Falcons retake the lead here. A great drive by Michael Harper as he will go to the line for one. So 2:59 remaining.
A little bit of a discussion there between Jalen Adams and Coach Chivers. I suspect about, well, what are we doing, Coach? What do you want us to run this next possession?
And that is short. So now Waverley hold a slender 1 point lead. Duffelmeyer works his way around. Now Adams. Things come to a bit of a standstill here. Adams putting on some moves. Loses the handle. Now Travis off and running here. Can he find his range at the right time? Now that's an offensive foul. It's been called on Travis. The basket will be waved away and Hobart get away with one there.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. My feel on this here, Ronnie, this last 2.5 minutes, as we have a timeout.
Yep.
Called by Hobart. I think these next 2.5 minutes, the team that just kind of plays with more of a level head will be the team that's going to come out on top. I just feel like both teams are just kind of maybe getting a little bit, I guess a phrase that I really like is emotionally drunk. They're kind of playing a little bit careless, a little bit out of control. I'd like to see them, just level their emotions a little bit. That play there, Travis, aggressive, yes, but 1-on-3. I feel like you should be pulling it out. Momentum's kind of going your way. Kind of felt like it was going their way. Just pull it out there. Let's get a good set. Let's get a good look. Instead, he tries to probably do a little bit too much, and it kind of hurt his team. So I think the group that plays with a level head here the last 2.5 minutes, that's going to do them a world of good.
All right. Thoughts there from Nick Martin as Waverley have a 1 point lead. 2:35 remaining here in the last quarter as we come to you from the Kingborough Sports Centre. Hope you are enjoying the coverage wherever you might be watching around the country or even around the world by the screens of the NBL YouTube channel or the NBL1 website as we come to you live there as well too. So Duffelmeyer with it. Now Adams. Back to Duffelmeyer here. I'll be interested to see what Hobart run this set. Travis up and in on him. Duffelmeyer working his way through. White, now Radcliffe open for three and doesn't get that one to go. Ball gets slapped away. White's there to meet it back. And now the Huskies get another opportunity. So Duffelmeyer. Now Radcliffe, in turn Barker, back to Radcliffe. Can he make up for it this time? He cannot. Lewis is there with the rebound. Good pressure by Duffelmeyer. And Lewis turns it over and Hobart get it back.
I thought it was pretty good execution there, Ronnie, out of the timeout against his own. Obviously, they got the offensive rebound. Second look there at it, but got Zach White on the pop and then the extra pass to BJ. Let's see what they run here.
All right, let's have a look. So Radcliffe finding some trouble here, and the ball eventually gets back in. Adams putting it to the floor. White kicks it to Adams. Adams goes baseline. Has to kick it out. Duffelmeyer this time. Yes, and makes no mistake about it. And Duffelmeyer puts his ear up and wants to hit the fans.
Good to go, Ronnie.
Great shot there by Tad Duffelmeyer. Hobart up by 2. 100 seconds remaining here in the fourth. The crowd on their feet now and making some noise. Harper Weaver here. Now in turn Lewis. Back to Harper. Travis now with it. Shot clock at 4. Good defensive sequence by the Huskies. Oh, that's deep, but not there. Good rebound by White. Duffelmeyer bringing it up here now for the Huskies. So important possession here. Duffelmeyer works his way through. Nice pass. Adams with a beautiful reverse layup.
Nice read there from the corner. Just caught his defender, losing vision of him. Great cut, great pass.
Great job there as Lewis puts up a tough shot. Not there. Harper with the board and gets the 2 to go. We're back to a 2-point ball game. Under a minute remaining. This is edge of your seat stuff, folks. Strap yourself in. We're going for a ride down a Southern Outlet to the Kingborough Sports Centre as Duffelmeyer works his way to White. White thinking about it. Oh, finds it. Oh, looked for Barker. Wasn't there. Good work there by the Falcons to get that one back.
It's a tough one. I reckon they're not going to, but they should have looked to go on quick there, so you get a 2-for-1 opportunity. These possessions here, there aren't going to be many left in this game.
Travis finds the open lane. Now Lewis. Good close out there by Adams. McCoyster over Barker and gets it to go. We are tied at 95 and Mark Shivers will call timeout to advance the ball. 18.7 remaining. We are tied at 95, Nick.
Yeah, good. Great look there, obviously. Getting McCorder going to his left hand, which is his preference. This is where they briefly mentioned they had possession of the ball. It was 35, 36 seconds. It's always a tough one. In hindsight, it's okay. Yep, this would have worked.
Yep.
Maybe it wouldn't have worked, but I felt like they could have looked to go on a little bit quicker and got a quicker shot up. Just because now, yes, they get the score. It's tied, but Hobart has last possession of it, and there's if Hobart's smart here, they're only going to make sure there's only one last shot taken. Whereas if they had gone a little bit quicker, maybe they get the score, then they'll get it back, for a chance at it. So I think. As athletes and coaches as well, just having that awareness of 2-for-1 situations, just statistically, and the analytics will show that you want to use 2-for-1 situations as much as you possibly can. So maybe a missed opportunity there, but we'll wait and see. It might work out in their favour.
All right. So the coach wanting to know if he still has a timeout up his sleeve. He does. So if Hobart do score here, expect the Falcons to call time. Hobart have decided to not advance and take it from the baseline.
Yeah, reason there, Ronnie, if you advance it, it goes to 14 seconds. So they want to make sure they definitely have the last shot.
All right. So Duffelmeyer to bring it down here for the Huskies. We are at 13 seconds here. Look for them to take the last shot of the game. Duffelmeyer wanting an on-ball screen here for Barker. Game clock. Adams puts it up and gets it to go. Charlotte Adams with a potential game winner here at the Kingborough Sports Centre. Whoa, my, what a shot by Charlotte Adams. He just went go bang like that. And all of a sudden, the Huskies take a 3-point lead with 3.6 remaining as Waverley called time. And we'll see what they come out in this huddle, Nick.
I think, Ronnie, for next season, obviously, you learn from this season. I think a recommendation I would put to you guys is you need to set up a camera so people can see your reactions. Just that was incredible, mate. I really enjoyed that. Obviously, nice,
Thanks very much.
nice play, but I think your reaction was the most enjoyable part of that for me. And,
All right.
I know our cameraman definitely agrees with that as well. Awesome play, though. Really good. You know, here we go. Like, what's a coach got up his sleeve? You know, this is something you practice, you know, these weight game situations with your teams. I'm sure they'll have a few, I guess, plays that they've maybe rehearsed before in trainings, or maybe they've run previously in games. So let's see what they got.
All right. So 3.6, the ball will be advanced here. Obviously, the Falcons have no choice but to advance it. So let's see what happens here. The crowd on their feet once again. This has been a ripper of a game, folks. Trust you have enjoyed it here on the NBL1 coverage. This has been one of the games of the season. Harper the restart. Travis puts it up for 3. It's a miss. Hobart win! Hobart win! Great work by the Huskies, and they've done what they needed to do. Get the win, and now they have to wait and see what happens if they can make the 8. Final scores here is Hobart 98, Waverley 95, and Nick Martin. What a great game of basketball we've just seen.
It was. You know, really good game, Ronnie. Glad, you know, despite how high scoring it was, neither team got to 100. So
there you go.
Maybe a little bit, you know, getting a few more stops, obviously in that fourth and even the third quarter. You know, for Hobart, it worked out for him, paid dividends. You know, some massive plays down the stretch, obviously. Yeah. You know, Jalen Adams was huge there. Tad Dulfer-Meyer, you know, some excellent playmaking. Yeah, massive win for them. You know, I think Waverley, that's not a bad look. They got there, you know, to tie it up. Obviously, the defender's right there on his hip and did a pretty good job of not, you know, contesting the shot but not fouling. So it was, you know, really good defense there down the stretch. And Hobart, you know, lives to fight, or maybe hopefully fight another day. They'll obviously wait and see how, you know, they need some results to fall their way. I said it at the start of the game, you can only control what you can control, and for them, they had to win tonight like that. They could control that, so, you know, really good for them to get it done. And well, now if you're Waverley, well, you control, in a way, your destiny. You go get the win tomorrow night against the Thunder, then I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure that's still a chance, you know, obviously for playoffs, and that would, you know, definitely rule Hobart out. So awesome game of basketball, Ronnie. It was fantastic. It
was a great game of basketball, Nick, and trust everyone has enjoyed the coverage here on the on the NBL YouTube channel and by the NBL1 website. What a great game to close out our part of the NBL1 coverage here from Hobart, Nick, and obviously here at the Kingborough Sports Centre. A massive thanks to our entire working crew, to Felix, who's been filling in on the camera work for the last few home games. To obviously JB, if you're watching, you missed out on a ripper of a ball game, mate. We're going to have to fill you in when you get back. But it's been great calling games with him. We've also had Mark Nash in commentary this year as well too. So it's been great to have Nashy on board with us as well too, and thanks for your assistance tonight as well too, Nick. You've been chomping at it to come in, and we've been able to get you in on our final home game.
No, I appreciate it, Ronnie. Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun, and I'm sure you know, if the opportunity opens up next year, I'd more than be happy to do a few games. I really enjoyed it tonight, and you know, hope I gave, I guess, a bit of a different perspective on things from, I guess, a coach's point of view. So no, thanks for having me on board, and it's been fun.
Always nice to have a bit of a mix-up here in the commentary box as well too. So again, thanks to everyone that's tuned in throughout the season here in Hobart, all around Tasmania. If you've been watching, it's been great to have your coverage with us. And for the final time this year, on behalf of Nick Martin, our cameraman Felix King-Lewis, I'm Ron Riggs. This has been a presentation of the NBL1 on the screens of NBL on the NBL YouTube channel, and we will see you next year.